This mix is brought to you by DJ Autism.
15 and delay. And then
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to a new video. Welcome to a bit of a Yap Fest type video. This is going to be more of a commentary type of thing. In the background, you guys are going to be watching some racing gameplay because this is mainly a racing game channel. So if you stumble across this video and you are not really a fan of racing, you can literally just minimize this window and then do something else while you're listening to me speak about this. It's a topic that I wanted to discuss due to the fact that I am obviously a part of the gaming industry, as in, like, I am a person that plays a lot of video games. I create content on it. I can, drive some sales to games as well, since I create content, and of course people end up watching my videos. So I feel like I have a voice in saying this, and it's, again, at the end of the day, it's just an opinion of mine that I want to put out there, and of course people can agree and disagree with me. So in today's video, I want to talk a bit about something that, in my opinion, I think is ruining the game industry. And we're getting a lot of these, not only in just the racing game industry, but just in general in the gaming industry. And I feel like it's something that I want to say and I want to discuss. It's not a new thing. I feel like it's been going on for a long time now, but it's something that I kind of feel strongly about. Over the past week, we've been seeing a bunch of stuff being released, a bunch of games being, released, or I guess they're showcasing the games that are coming out very soon. Dude, this is kind of like what E3 was supposed to be in this whole region, but instead of getting E3 now, we're just getting, Summer Game Fest and the PlayStation conference, and then now we have the Xbox conference, which is coming this Sunday, which I think is tomorrow if this video is getting uploaded today. So, also, I'm going to be watching that live over on Twitch, so link on the screen or in the description box below. You guys can go over, follow me on Twitch, and I'll be watching that live because we are going to be looking forward to seeing some good stuff there, hopefully, because so far the games have been very questionable that we've been seeing over the past week. But regardless, early access games, beta testing, alpha games, whatever you want to call them, in my opinion, I think is ruining the game industry. Here's why, right? I do agree that a beta test for a game is good. I think for them to release like an alpha test, maybe not so good. But the beta test for a game, I feel like it just kind of gives the devs kind of like a look on how the game is actually going to handle pretty much having a lot of people playing it. However, releasing a game months or even a year prior to having basically the full version 1.0 released, I don't see this being a good thing. The only one game that I remember that had very good response to this, but that it just honestly didn't feel like it, was Minecraft. Minecraft was the only one that I remember that obviously ended up releasing an alpha, and then obviously they kept coming out with more and more updates. But it was like such a new thing back then. And I feel like so many games nowadays are kind of copying that, where they're just kind of releasing stuff that's just not finished. It's like on early access, very, very early access. And then they just throw the game out there, and then they just keep pushing updates for it. And I feel like it's ruining the games because you're not actually looking for a release anymore. Like I don't care now that the game is going to come out. And it's going to be version 1.0. Do you know what I mean? Like, it makes no difference because it just comes out as like an extra update. So the hype for a game is completely ruined by the fact that the game has been out for many months, a year, maybe 2 years, depending on however long the game has been released. So there's no hype for a game that's coming out. Yes, if you have like a small window of people where they play the beta, Battlefield does it the best. And there are other games that do the same thing, but I just don't really see anything else other than just like a beta being released as like a good thing for a game. Like I said, early access for a game is one thing, right? It's something that allows you to like test stuff and all that, like beta access and all that. But having a game that's pre-released for a long time and then having version 1.0 come out, it just absolutely kills the hype for the game. And I don't think it's as good as people may think it may be. There's a game very recently that they've shown. They showed a trailer for it at the Summer Games Fest, and it was called Scum. And I remember playing that game. I mean, I got it way back. I don't even remember how many years ago I ended up getting it, and we played it. And it's basically just a DayZ, like, kind of, competitor. And I I don't think anybody really wants to play Scum over DayZ. I mean, even now, if you look at the numbers, I mean, DayZ is still killing it compared to Scum. But I saw a trailer for it, and Scum is finally coming out. It's being released as a full game. But who cares, right? The game's been out for so long now. I mean, the only thing that they've really done is they just keep releasing, you know, updates for the game, where the game is now just basically the same now as it is going to be when version 1.0 comes out. Maybe just another small update comes out, and then that's it. The game's out with version 1.0. So stuff like that, like I said, not only does it kill the hype for the game, but it will make it so the numbers don't go up. I feel like some studios take advantage of this and they sell their early access game at full price, and you basically pay your $40-50 or whatever it is that you're paying for the game, and you pay for basically an unfinished game, and then people will end up complaining about it. Like, this is just not a playable thing. Like, there's so many bugs, there's so many glitches, and so many things in this game. What is the point of paying money for this if it's just completely unfinished and unplayable? And I feel the same way, right? Like, you're basically giving the studio a full price for a game that's not worth the full price of the game, you know? And I mean, people are willing to pay for it, but I feel like there's so many people out there that if you end up releasing the full version of the game, they will be happy to get a full release of the game and be happy enough to pay the full price for it, instead of then releasing a game that's early access, that's unfinished, and then you get mixed reviews or probably mostly negative reviews on a game that is basically unfinished on Steam or whatever, or wherever you're releasing it. But like, you just gonna get like basically negative reviews. There's so many games out there. I know that there's an issue probably monetarily, where it's just a much better thing for the studio, especially if it's a small studio, for them to release a game early access with full price, and then obviously have the team be able to use that money to, you know, get paid for their work, right? But the thing is with that is, unless you are a big company, right, which backs their team to be able to create a game like this, I feel like that's most of the gaming industry. Like, if you're an indie developer, if you're a developer that's coming up, or a development team that's coming up, I feel like you're just gonna have to take it on the chin. Like, that's really it. If you create a good game, and of course, if, like, it's the same with pretty much anything, right? If you create a product, of course, at the very beginning of the product, you're just gonna try and shill out as many of it as you possibly can, for as small of a price as you possibly can. Like, that is just how it is, right? If you have the idea in mind for it, you kind of have to try and make your mark out there before you have a massive amount of money coming towards you. I feel like that's just a normal thing to do. Am I wrong in saying that? Am I in like the wrong in saying that? Do I have to like really wait for, like, you're not working a normal job. Like, this isn't something that you're like, you know, I want to go in from 9 to 5, I want to get paid a full-time proper salary for something like this. Like, if you're creating a product, it's different, in my opinion. Especially, like I said, if you're on the come up, if you're starting from scratch. Like, imagine if I was like a brand new YouTuber, brand new on the channel, and I started uploading daily content, right? And in my opinion, my content is so good that I want to get paid the same amount as people that are getting, you know, hundreds and millions of views more than I do, or hundreds of thousands to millions of views more than I do. Imagine if that was the case, you know? Like, you don't go out and you're immediately asking for the full amount at the very beginning. Like I said, it's just, it just doesn't make sense for that. I feel like game devs just need to be a little bit more realistic with their expectations and how they're gonna get paid for the stuff that they create. So like I said, I feel like it's just ruining the games that are being released. There's so many games so far that have come out, and then I just have no interest in them anymore. Assetto Corsa Evo is another one. It came out, it was basically unplayable. Like, I was able to hop on maybe once in like a blue moon to try and play it, because as soon as it boots you offline, like, it just ended up booting me completely off the game. Like, I just wasn't able to play at the very beginning. And then obviously they kept releasing updates and updates and updates, and then just, you know, I don't really care. I honestly cannot really be bothered to go back onto the game again. I probably will later on when the game is fully out, but I don't really want to play it. Like, I just don't care for it. Like, they're adding, like, you know, they're adding tracks to it. They're probably adding more cars to the game over the next few months. But like, they're basically releasing this game in chunks over the course of the next, I don't know, year or whatever it is. I just don't see it. I honestly just couldn't care less about that game. I just don't care. It's the same with JDM, Japanese Driftmaster. At least this has its full story, right? Like this still has the whole career mode and its full story already out and already released. The only thing that they're going to be adding extra is, you know, like a new story or a second part of a story, more cars and stuff like that, you know? At least that game that I was playing, at least it still feels like a full game. Like there's still stuff in it that ended up, you know, coming out with the game, and it's still stuff that you can have like a good amount of playtime into the game before you actually kind of get bored and you stop playing it. So I don't know. Let me know down in the comments below if you agree with me. Let me know if you think that this is a good thing for the gaming industry or if it's a bad thing, like I do. I just like I said, I just think it kills the hype for a game. I feel like the game developers won't get the same amount of players playing the game as you would with, you know, any other field. Like I feel like if they just release the game, they have this deadline that they have to kind of finish the game. A lot of the time it's still unfinished at the deadline, but I feel like when they do have a deadline, they kind of work towards it and they try to figure out ways to kind of, you know, put it together by that point. And then when it drops, you'll have a massive influx of people playing the game. Big hype, causing basically, you know, social media to go crazy, your reviews to go crazy all at the same time. I feel like that's just something that's just missing nowadays, and not a lot of games are doing it. So it kind of sucks, but at the same time, I see the appeal for, you know, up and coming devs, especially for them to release the game like basically completely unfinished in early access and then still charging for, full price for it. So again, let me know what you think down in the comments below. I feel like this was a bit of a different video to the channel, but because of all these new games that are being showcased and being shown all in the basically the new festivals, the Summer Game Fest, the PlayStation Conference, and now the Xbox Conference, I feel like with all these games being released, it just kind of got me thinking about this. So yeah, let me know down in the comments below. Thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.